Hello Team FD and welcome back to Winners and Losers, where we break down the latest and greatest Premier League action. And today we've decided to do a Brucey bonus clip, primarily because Chelsea have been linked so heavily with Mudryk, haven't they? Current state of play, Joseph. Fabrizio Romano has said that the club view him as the perfect winger now for their project, which is funny because I thought that was Rafinha. He also went on to say that the Blues would lodge a bid if talks collapsed with Arsenal. And we know that those talks have been fraught with tension. Arsenal having, I think, 2 offers turned down at current, have gone back in with 50 million euros up front plus add-ons. Not quite sure what's unfurled there as of yet. And even David Ornstein saying he doesn't know now if Chelsea would beat Arsenal to the player. So there is an element of confusion, isn't there? The real winners, though, Shakhtar Donetsk. They 100%. Can now drum up a transfer saga, can't they?
War.
A bidding war was the term I was looking for. Thank you very much. What I did want to ask you, though, do you think this whole pursuit of the Ukrainian makes sense?
For Chelsea?
For Chelsea, yeah.
I do. I actually think Chelsea need a left winger. I think that Christian Pulisic is definitely an upgradable area of that Chelsea squad. I think that Chelsea really lack the ability to get in behind with any real pace in that forward line, and that's certainly something that Mudryk would add to that side. The issue comes on the fee, I think, that Chelsea have bigger areas to improve in that squad, most notably in the midfield. Now, it seems like that Enzo Fernandez deal has collapsed by all accounts, and if that money isn't going to be used on Enzo Fernandez and isn't going to be used on a central midfielder, and it is just floating about in January, then sure, I have no real issue on spending it on upgrading Christian Pulisic, given he's got 1 goal, 1 assist so far this season. The output is not good enough. Despite the fact his World Cup was so spectacular, it needs to improve. It needs to improve, and he certainly fits this style/brand of young player that Chelsea are trying to bring through the door. So I actually think on paper it's a good signing if it doesn't come at the cost of signing a midfielder.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Quite clearly, scoring goals has been Chelsea's issue this season, currently averaging 1.25 per 90, but have only conceded 18 at the time of recording, which is the 4th best return in the division, although I think expected goals against puts them more so around 7th. So their defence probably top 6 level at current, which still needs improvement. But attack, the bigger issue, like you've said. Expected goal difference per 90, which is basically the amount of chances they're expected to score versus what they concede, is the 11th best in the league.
At the moment.
So if they don't sort out their attack, it is going to cost them in their pursuit of European football. The noise at the moment, Potter is saying that, listen, we're being linked with dozens of players. I'm paying no attention to it. And they have been linked prior to this with premium attacking talent, haven't they? Definitely. I've already mentioned Rafinha. Rafael Leao. I thought that at one point was pretty much nailed on. And it looked like Burnley was willing to surpass the 100 million mark, which would prize him away from Milan. But obviously he's in talks around a new contract, not quite sure how they've progressed. He's been scintillating form in the league of late, so maybe he's happy with life in Milan. But Leao feels like a better prospect. Of course, Mudryk hasn't got that many senior appearances under his belt. I think it's only 74 at the moment. So for that fee, it's going to be a risk. People are talking about Mudryk like he's going to be a nailed-on success story wherever he goes. Arteta probably does have a better track record at developing wingers, and he keeps not quite twerking for Arsenal, but there's an awful lot of social media content out there where he's liking various posts or he's putting stories up watching Arsenal. So it does feel like the player's preference is North London, which
he's absolutely
which is going to have a massive bearing, isn't it? Like if Chelsea bid 5 million euros more than Arsenal, but the player is insistent on going to Arsenal, that is going to be, like I said, a big old factor. I mean, they've already spent 293 million euros. This would be another significant investment. I mean, obviously, I'm getting the impression from you, Joe, that you're not quite into Burley's wheeling and dealing.
It seems like money is no option, or object, for Todd Burley at the moment. And, you know, I think we can all agree that Mudryk is one of the most exciting young talents in European football, so it wouldn't be the worst. But I totally agree with you. I think Rafael would be a better option for this Chelsea side. It's a Chelsea side that also doesn't create many chances. His chance creation numbers are really poor, and I think that is definitely something that Potter will be looking to change, and it's not something that Mudryk specialises in. He's not a chance creator necessarily, as much as he is more of an out-and-out classic winger who is going to get to the byline and get in behind. So I think that that's something he'll look to address. But let's not forget they're also signing Benoit Badiashile for over 40 million euros in the defence this January window. So the outlay is going to be large. And if it's, like I said, if it's not going on Enzo, then it's probably going to end up going on somebody like Mudryk. I think that overall, though, you know, the wheeling and dealing by Todd Boehly just feels so scattergun to be almost comical, especially in the summer. Now he's actually got a transfer committee in there. You know, he's got Vivel in through the door. He's got the Brighton recruitment team in there as well. You would have expected them to have some say. And if they're the guys that have put Mudryk's name forward, you know, Vivel's gone, we want to get Mudryk, this is the guy. And the Brighton team have gone, this is the next star of world football in the wing department, then I have absolutely no issue with them going for it. I just slightly am concerned that they have gone for the Rafinha mould of, oh, Arsenal really want him. But Arsenal, let's just get him through the door and then see how he fits, which never works.
Do you think it complicates things for the player that he could perhaps see himself get more minutes in the Chelsea squad? I can see him usurping Pulisic
straight away
fairly quickly, whereas if Gabriel Jesus returns and Martinelli stays out on that left-hand side, that he's going to be a rotation option.
He should join Arsenal. He should join Arsenal. Arsenal are upwardly mobile. Arteta has a proven track record of coaching extremely talented young players and finding a way of making them work in a system. If I was Mudryk and two offers came on the table, I would be joining Arsenal. But that's not how the world works. If Shakhtar accept a massively improved offer from Chelsea that Arsenal cannot match, it's either Chelsea or bust. He can't just choose to go to Arsenal. It doesn't work like that. So I think from his perspective, a move to Chelsea is not a negative. Let's have it absolutely right. Just because they are in a bit of a slump at the moment, going to one of Europe's best clubs, he won the Champions League 18 months ago, it is not a negative. He'll be fine there. And Potter is still an extremely good coach. He's just going through a bad spell. So I would be going to Arsenal. But if he goes to Chelsea, it's still a massive win for him.
Yeah, and a massive L for every Arsenal fan that has sort of declared Mudryk the next big thing, which he very well might be.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some predictions then for tonight's game, Chelsea versus City. We'll do this fairly quickly because no doubt this will go live 1-2 hours before the game kicks off. What's your gut instinct saying?
My gut instinct is saying City win this extremely comfortably. I think even against Everton where they dropped points, they just were so rampant. So I think City win the game probably 3-1. But I would like a draw. From a United perspective, a draw would be lovely. A draw would be really nice. But I think City 3-1 I'll go for.
Yeah, you've put your neck on the line, so I'll do the same. I actually think it's going to be a closer game than that. I'm going to go for... City will want to bounce back after that draw with Everton, won't they? All guns blazing. I'm going to go for a 2-1. And I think Chelsea will muddy it up and it'll be a fairly narrow victory for City. But what do you lot think? Let us know in the comments below. And if you were Mudryk, where are you going? Are you going to Chelsea or are you going to Arsenal? Hit us up in the comments below. Me and Joe will get back to you in the first hour. Like this video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and we'll catch you on next week's winners and losers. Bye bye.